All right, everyone. It's nice to see you again. We are doing this very frequently recently, seeing ourselves online. Uh, Welcome to this webinar in which we would like to share the news about the things we have been doing recently, and of course, the things that we are going to implement for 2021. And with this, I would like to introduce the moderator of this webinar, Mr. Jaka Repanšek, who is an expert in gaming law, entertainment law, and also somebody who's very, very keen to knowing everything about new tech, and of course, everything surrounding it. Am I right, Jaka?
Yes, thank you, Zoltan. Welcome, everybody.
Okay, so well, basically, I will give you the virtual microphone to kickstart some of the bullet points that we need to touch base upon on, and if you have any questions, you just type them in the participants chat. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Zoltan. Again, welcome, everybody. Zoltan and I have been cooperating on an expert level at seminars and conferences and webinars now for many years. Unfortunately, now, of course, everything has moved online, so we're operating in this digital sphere. And I must say that we're becoming better and better in what we're doing here. I think the topics or the content we are covering is really on high expert level. That also proves that we get a lot of really good speakers and panelists to our webinars, of course, before we have them at our seminars and conferences. As Zoltan mentioned, I'm a lawyer. I am specializing in entertainment, media, new tech, internet, digital law. I've been cooperating with Hipther agency as an expert moderator, as a panelist, and I'll be happy to do that also in 2021. Now, Zoltan has prepared a number of interesting information about what the agency will be working on in the next months and the next year, which will, of course, still be a COVID year, which means most of our activities will still be online. Zoltan, just to start with a brief explanation to everybody who's listening or who will be watching us later on a recorded on a recording, tell us a little bit more about what our Hipther agency is all about and what is the main focus of our work. Please, Zoltan.
Yes, Jaka, yes, I forgot to mention that it's been a 6-year collaboration so far, heading into the 7th year next year. And you have been a great partner and now even a more closer partner of Hipther. So Hipther agency has started out last year because we have been doing a lot of work on European gaming for 6.5, 7 years now. And we have in the meantime also launched into different industries such as artificial intelligence and blockchain and other technological industries. And we have also started hosting conferences on that one. It's called Picante, and we also have a series of conferences they're called Tech Conference Europe. So we decided that we need to somehow join these two big uh, brands, European Gaming and Picante Media, under one umbrella, and that's how Hipther Agency was born. And starting next year, we will be adding even more projects which are directly offered by Hipther Agency, not just by European Gaming and Picante. And in the meantime, we have also ventured into North America with the launch of Gaming Americas, which is also under the umbrella of Hipther Agency. So that in a nutshell about what Hipther Agency is all about. But I would also like to point out the fact that Yaka, you are also a hipster because everybody who has been noticing our posts lately, we have been adding the hashtag hipsters. So a hipster is a person who is interested in all sorts of technology, likes to read about it, but also dig deeper into this subject to understand it better, not just read about it. So that's why we are calling all those participants at our conferences hipsters. It's not that we have some problem with our teeth and we cannot say a hipster. It's Hipther.
Okay, well, Zoltan, as a fellow hipster, let me ask you the topics. The topics we will be focusing on. This is also interesting for people who are, listening from various companies to our discussion now. What are going to be the main focuses of our topics in the future?
So in the future, we are focusing more on technological development, especially in deep tech, and also on the entertainment side, on the gambling industry. Focus is to spread as much content as possible via the webinars and the virtual conferences because 2021, I hopefully I'm hoping that we are going to somehow host at least two conferences, hybrid conferences, that in Prague and in Tallinn, but otherwise it will be all virtual. So these are the main topics we will be focusing on: deep technology and entertainment.
What are we offering? Just be very plastic in this. Somebody wants to cooperate with Hipther agency. What are the possibilities that to become a Hipther, not only as a panelist or as an expert webinar speaker, but basically somebody who will connect with us and also benefit from the topics we're developing on this high expert level?
So they can, as an example, is this webinar series. This is one of the best ways to convert interested clients. So by sponsoring one of these webinars, the client gets access to the database of the people who have subscribed to this webinar. It also gets branding all over the tech on our platform. So this would be one type of collaboration. But we can also offer several other packages, which also include advertisement on the website, which also include sponsorship on the other conferences. But I think these webinar sponsorship is very strong in terms that it attracts those who are really interested in spending, let's say, 45 minutes to 1 hour to hear about a product or a topic. Because as everybody has gotten used to our style, we never focus on product demos. We always focus on what that product can help a company with, or how can I put it this much? How can I put this to be more understandable? How can that product help a certain niche or an industry?
Um, Zoltan, just maybe just a brief. We are in COVID time, as I mentioned now. Hipther and related companies have adopted very fast. We're all online. We're becoming really good experts in holding online webinars now. There's a bunch of course, of a tutorial on the web how to do it well. But if you don't have good content, of course, all the form is useless. But Zoltan, we met first many years ago, as well as a lot of other colleagues from the gaming and tech sector and media sector at your very successful conferences in Budapest and in Prague. There were also conferences in other cities, including Ljubljana, where I'm from. When do you believe, as an expert in organization of events, that we will actually be able to get back on physical grounds? When are we going to see each other again? And how long do you think we're just going to be seeing each other in the virtual world?
So I can place a bet that 2021 will be a year in which people need to somehow adapt and start going to conferences again. I'm not talking here about large conferences. In 2021, like I said, we are going to host at least two conferences which are going to be hybrid. So meaning that 50% of the people will be in a room in a hotel, locals, and the other 50% connecting online. Meeting with you, of course,
Yes.
in a remote destination. I don't think it's going to happen next year. But 2022 will definitely come back to uh, uh, something, a new state of conferencing where the emphasis will be on the region. So networking is definitely going to be between the neighboring countries who are allowed to travel. Let's hope that next year uh, everything disappears and we can get back to at least travel to surrounding countries much easier. So to answer to your question, 2022 we'll definitely see each other, in my opinion, but only at a small conference, because large conferences, I think that they will not happen. I read a lot of reviews. I let We actually did a survey this year for around 600 people, and they said that they are not willing to travel to a large show until the end of 2021. Other voices says 2024. So yeah, it's going to take a while.
That's quite some time to go. Zoltan, one more thing we need to touch is the launch of the very own networking platform, WireUp.zone. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I'm really excited about this because even before this webinar, I have been coding on it. So we did a test during the European Gaming Congress and Picante Marketing Summit to see how it handles the load. It crashed. It crashed at 800 people. So we knew now what to do, and also requested lots of feedback from the people already registered on the platform. So the official launch date is going to be the 1st of November, and it's a social media platform where you can create connections from different industries. Uh, you will also have premium options like posting jobs, job openings of your company. You can also join groups. You can create groups. It's basically a virtual playground, which is going to also host the streams from our virtual conferences. So this is going to be a dedicated platform for our conferences, but also a networking platform for any individual to join from any industry. So this is not limited to just the entertainment industry or just tech industry. We can go anywhere.
So,
That's about.
Zoltan, your efforts and your conferences and seminars are well known. We could position them as the top in the Central and Eastern European area. You've been focusing in that region of Europe for quite a long time. We have expanded, especially with our webinars, also, as you mentioned before, to the US. What other expansions, what other marketing, sponsorship, expert level conversation opportunities can you offer also in other regions? What are the expansion plans?
So our plans was to expand to North America in 2021. So with this virtual sports betting and casino summit North America, we managed to do that in June. So that way we have opened up a hive of bees of companies that are interested in legislation updates coming from North America and also Latin America. So it's Gaming America's focus is also on Latin America. So the opportunities in terms of sponsorship are in regards to getting your brand known in that region. So this is one of the plans for next year. The other plan is that we are going to soon announce, next week, we are announcing a series of quarterly meetups, which is dedicated exclusively to the Americas market, meaning North and Latin America, which can give an exposure for a company throughout the whole year in front of, let's say, 300 delegates is the cap we are going to have at this quarterly meeting, and that means 1,200 industry experts from that region. So this gives an opportunity for somebody who's interested in advertising their brands in that region throughout this series of meetups. On the other hand, we're also keeping one foot in Europe because this is our main market, And we are also going to launch a quarterly meetup series for European gaming too. Basically, we will have 8 quarterly meetings, five of which is going to be dedicated from the European market, and 4 of them for the American market and Latin American market. On top of that, we're also going to host 3 virtual tech conferences, which in 2021, all tech conferences will be virtual. We are not planning any physical events with that because we know that since we are covering multiple industries via the tech conference, including AI, fintech, blockchain. For next year, we're going to introduce sex technology. we, we also have education technology. So basically, since we have all these communities, it's really hard now with travels and everything to have a smaller event. So that's why we're going to host 3 dedicated events for the tech communities. So
Or
there's a lot of opportunities for one who is interested to uh, getting their brand exposed in front of multiple people.
excellent, Zoltan. Thank you. Now, everybody who is listening and everybody who will be listening later on to the recording of our conversation, just one last wrap up information. How do people get in touch with Hipther? How do they become Hipthers? What do you recommend so we can, so they can engage in the preparation of all the events you mentioned as soon as possible? A few useful tips to conclude our
So
conversation.
yeah, so it's really easy. The idea with Hipther Agency was to create a one-stop website where you get all access to all this information. So basically, just by going to hipther.agency, you can find the contacts of our people who are in the sales, who are in the marketing. You also have the events calendar already live over there, so you already have the dates for these quarterly meetups and the hybrid conferences I've mentioned. So all information is there. On starting, like I said, starting from November, Wire Up Zone is also going to be a place where they can connect with us. But we recommend that to be used for networking and expanding their brand awareness. So just head over to hipther.agency and click on the contact us button, and you have all the options there.
Thank you, Zoltan. I think we covered a lot of interesting plans and topics for our work during the next 12 months. Zoltan mentioned how to get in touch with him and how to become a fellow Hipther. So, Zoltan, thank you so much for this conversation. I will be seeing you very soon at our next events, and hopefully also everybody else who was listening to us now. Stay safe, everybody. Have a great time and stay strong. So I hope to see you all very soon. Thank you, Zoltan, for this.
Thank you, Yaka, for moderating. And once again, Yaka, you surprised me this year with this whole shift because I did not know this about you, about that you are so active in the tech field. I known you like for 6 years, and ever since we came up with this idea with these tech conferences and webinars, I mean, wow, it's great to have you on board.
It is a very interesting propulsive field also for us lawyers. Very much so. And I think we're going to cover a lot of really good topics in 21 in the tech sector, media, entertainment, and of course, gaming. So again, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you everybody for participating, for becoming a Hipther. Zoltan, speak to you soon. See you all very soon. Have a great time and stay safe.